So, if you lack musical ability, what you can do is find yourself a 12 string, tune into DADGAD, and at 432 hertz for the extra hippity dippity vibe, and make sweet, sweet sounds like this. I think it's a pretty neat sounding tuning. So, it's still sort of the early part of 2020, and as a lot of people, I have goals and things in mind. My output, for various reasons, has been sparse. And one of the things is a lack of coordination of all of the different stuff that I want to put out there. It kind of interferes with each other and creates this mad jumble. So there's kind of a new format I'm going to follow. I'm going to be making videos like this where I just generally talk about things off the cuff, a sort of variety show, which I'm thinking of calling the Fractal Standard, and I'm going to be doing that every day. But then there'll be special days where I will talk about things on a topical basis. So like Tuesdays, I'll maybe do history. Wednesdays, I'll talk about health and science. Thursdays, the creative lifestyle. And, Friday through Monday, I'll be preparing for all of that. As well as Friday through Monday, I'll be preparing to publish projects and stories, because what I noticed as I'm doing this straight to blog publishing style that I've been doing is I never give myself enough of a time window to finish it, and it comes out rushed, and then the plot of my fiction works and even my nonfiction works, the content gets compromised. So yeah, that kind of like administrative stuff out of the way. I just got back from church. My granddad cannot drive anymore, so I take him to church. I'm not a particularly churchy kind of guy, but today there was an interesting video about a project by a man called Francis Chan, and they went out to Africa and financed things through the writing of a book to help these girls down there that were forced into the red light district, and to help all the people there that were starving. And yeah, very, very, very great stuff. But it gets me to thinking, that's a specific group of people that they're helping. How can every person in a society kind of help a lot of people? In my opinion, it's by being an informed citizen, by paying attention to the world around you, by learning the machinations of government of your country, and by staying informed, as I'm repeating myself, on topics, so that you can hold your elected representatives accountable. Because a lot of the evil in the world is basically done by powerful nations, and it's not just the United States, but we in a lot of these very powerful nations do have an influence over the course of those nations. And even if you're not talking about influencing the foreign policy that your country takes, you can foster economic success by understanding the underpinnings that entails, and keeping your representatives from going on mad adventures. Yeah, I just felt that that's an interesting way to highlight that point, that yes, you can take that grand adventure aspect of going out on a special mission trip, and that's very good and very laudable. But there's also the day-to-day that needs to be done. That's that. So towards the end of being more regular with my uploads, I have plums. Delicious, delicious alcoholic plums. Yeah. Earlier today, I walked past my grandfather, who listens to conservative talk radio. And because Mr. Rush Limbaugh is currently ill, unfortunately, with lung cancer, don't wish that on anybody, that there was some British man filling in for him. And he was yelling at somebody about, oh, Soleimani, this killer, what about those families that he destroyed? Well, hey, we work with the Saudis, right? And we give them bombs, And here we go. This didn't happen terribly long ago. Dhayan airstrike. On August 2018, Saudi Arabian expeditionary aircraft bombed a civilian school bus passing through a crowded market with U.S.-made bombs in Dhayan, Saada Governorate, Yemen, near the border with Saudi Arabia. At least 40 children were killed, all under 15 years old, and most under age 10. So those are U.S.-made bombs wielded by the Saudi Arabians. This is something that I'm bringing up because he was using an appeal to emotion that obfuscates the greater reality. The greater reality is that when you have people that are engaged in warfare, these kinds of casualties happen. When you have people that are allied with each other, your allies sometimes will do dubious things. Now, should we blame this like entirely on the United States? That, hey, it's Saudi Arabia did this. No, of course we shouldn't blame it entirely on the United States, but we did have a hand in it by providing them with those bombs, and they are our allies, and you know, we're meddling in that region where we have no dog in the fight in this battle between Sunni and Shia. It's getting our people killed. It's financially taxing and burdensome as our nation. You know, Trump has made some improvements to the economy, but this kind of rhetoric of whipping up a frenzy over some kind of, you know, moral grounds is completely empty, and it's just an appeal to emotion. And that's why you have to pay attention to the ramifications of our policy decisions and who we're actually allied with and what they are doing. So thought I needed to get that out there. World is just absolutely crazy. Absolutely insane. There's so much good that's out there, and it's so uncanny that we're alive, that I'm talking to you through this magic box over here with my phone where I'm filming myself, and you're seeing me at any number of places around the world, and you're considering these ideas and why these ideas and why us in particular, and how we actually got to this situation where we're talking about these topics in the grand scheme of the universe. It's so insane. Existence itself is so insane. You know, people think, you know, they're either, oh, there's God and he did it and boom, or oh, there is no God and it was a big bang and boom. And both those explanations, I mean, you have to try to explain things in some way. Okay, I understand that. But to me, it takes away from going, what? Everything is so specific. The fact that this falls and its shape affects the way it falls and rolls, and why this way specifically, you know, out of all of the possible ways it could have been. And people will say, well, there is no all of these possible ways. It's a necessity. But the concept of necessity exists, if that's making any sense, if that's not too stonery for you. I think I'm onto something there. I'm 100% sure I'm not the first person to point that out. But existence is just so goddamn uncanny. And this is why I promote art and creativity as sort of a nod towards that, you know? I don't know. Well, you have gotten some variety so far, haven't you? I don't have terribly much time because I have to prepare to go to bed. But thanks so much for listening, and I'll be back with a longer video tomorrow, I'm hoping. Cheers.